Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's been an interesting day in the market, y'all. But first, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, y'all, let's get started. So we are looking at the SPY, and what's interesting, y'all, is today we had CPI today, PPI tomorrow, I believe. The information came out, and as you can see, we made a high of 567. Well, yes, guess what? We failed to go back and retest anywhere near that area. So that tells me that we have an issue somewhere, right? That tariffs and that information that's going on with the tariffs, that could very well be the reason, right? Or is the reason. Let's say that. So now, looking at the SPY, again, this is the 30-minute chart. I like to look at the 30-minute chart, and many will say there's a lot of lines on your charts. But guess what? Let me point something out. There's a reason for those lines, because as you can see here, price came down to this area here. Price came down to this area here. Price came to this area here. Those lines help me to identify where my trouble places are, and that is the key to trading, being able to identify where your support and your resistance is. I needed to point that out, right? So looking at the SPY, that 567, we tried to go up a few times to get back to that place, but we did not. So that is interesting. That's something to remember for tomorrow. Yesterday's high was a 567. So tomorrow when the market comes, when the market opens, there's going to be some more news. Now we can come back up to this is the 1 hour chart. We can very well come back to this 1 hour, to this 567 here. And what's interesting is we didn't get back above, let's say, that 562. We didn't make it back above that. The high of this candle here is 561.90. So that's interesting in my opinion for the SPY. So we need to be careful. What do I see for the market tomorrow? I really don't like to predict the market, but as of right now, we're just moving sideways, I guess, waiting on the information to come out. Again, the SPY is an inside day candle for tomorrow. Let's see, we can point those things out, meaning the SPY is going to be congested regardless of how I look at it, because it's something that I trade every day and it's something that I chart daily. So if you can disregard those lines for right now, just try to block those out, right? So it is an inside day candle above 563.11. We have an upside target for the SPY at 564.02. Now to the downside, under 563.69, we have a downside target for the SPY at 552.02. And with the news coming out tomorrow, and being that we've made this low of 553 today, we very well can come down and reach that. Now, for tomorrow, I would definitely watch under this 557.97. If by chance we open under this level, it's interesting because that's kind of like a zone that we have been trading in for a while. As soon as we bounced off of this, bounced off of this low here, we went back up and we traded kind of sideways. So it will need to, if we break under this 557.97, we could very well come back and retest this 555.61, and breaking that 555.61 area, we can come back and see again if we're going to find support at this 553 level. If we break that 553, y'all see all of the support down here that we could very well come back to for the SPY. So we definitely need to trade carefully. Now back to the upside, if by chance, I would say we break above these candles here, which was around the 561.35, we could very well come back to this 563.11, which is not far, right here, kind of like where the body of these candles, or where the candles have reached here. So breaking above that 563.11, we could definitely reach our target of 564.02. Now what's interesting is breaking that 564 area. Right now that 200 EMA is around the 564.81, and as you can see, that's right where level that I have marked. So y'all, I'm telling you, the market is going to be interesting tomorrow. So if you are trading, I say so often, y'all, trade carefully. And yes, my SPY and Tesla kind of look the same. It's a lot of lines on that, right? But I just like to trade Tesla and the SPY because you go in at the right time, out at the right time, you can make some decent profit. Let's say that. Now looking at Tesla, we closed at 248.09, and do y'all see as of right now we're already at the 253.55. Tesla was just down here at 217.02. So we have bounced from a 217.02 back to the 253.55. Only Tesla can do that. Do you understand? Tesla does what it does. this, and I say that so often. So if you trade Tesla, you are in for a ride. Do you understand? So looking at Tesla as of right now, the gathering spot was here. So that 248.35 area was a support area, gathering spot, or let's say around the between the 248 and the 249.05 area. Well, guess what? We have broken through those levels as of right now and gotten back above this 250, 215. Now, what will be interesting is if we stay in this area. So we definitely need to watch that for Tesla breaking that level. We could very well, have trouble again around the 255.28 and breaking that. We could possibly have trouble around the 257.19. So if by chance Tesla stay in this area, I would like to see it open above this 253.55, or if not, it closed at the 248 area. It could be interesting for Tesla. Again, it wouldn't surprise me to see us back, back on down towards the lower level down here, let's say around the 245.72. So breaking under this 248.28, we could very well come back to this 245 area. And if we should break that, the 243.92, I would watch it under this 243.92 because there is a few layers of support, but it could also bring us back down to this 238.27. So if you're trading Tesla, those are areas that I kind of would watch. Again, not financial advice, y'all. There's so many layers of support down here that could very well hold us up or break us down, either or, right? So I always say, y'all, we try to, look at the charts and see what the charts are telling us, but ultimately we have to learn to trade what we see. Let's go look at Meta just to see. It's a little bit cleaner, let's say that, right? This is Meta on the 30-minute chart, and it too traded sideways, and I'm gonna go and mark a level here because immediately it's like my eye go to this right here because price gathered in this area, and I'm gonna mark this bottom layer here as so this is an area I need to remember for Meta. Why? Because price traded in this area before, support being here, resistance being here. So as of now, that 622.08, which if I'm not mistaken, were we not at the 622 before recently? So we need to be careful at that 622 area. So if by chance we break above or open above that 622, that would be interesting. I will watch the 626 as a resistance area, and if we break that 626, we could very well have trouble again around the 630.17, which I have the ATR trailing stop marked at the 629.34. So that could be a possible trouble place for Meta, and if by chance we break that level, that 633.33 could be a rejection area for us. Now, breaking that 633.33, guess what? We have trouble again at that 642.60. That's going to be interesting for Meta, right? Now back to the downside. If by chance we break an open under, let's say under all of these moving averages, as of right now, the 200 EMA is at that 616.41 area. Let's say we open under the 614.55. That would be interesting, right? So we definitely need to watch Meta opening under that 614, considering we closed at 619. That's not far away. So I would say if I'm trading Meta today, trading Meta, those are areas that I would definitely watch. Under that 614.55 can bring us back around to the 611.55 area, and breaking that, we can very well come back to the 608.40, and that's just the area over here where price has just been gathered here before that 608 area. Let's see, yeah, 608.32, 608.40 area. So under the 608.40, we could possibly come back around 604.02, and if we should break that, 601.57 is within reach. So if you're trading Meta, these are areas that I would watch to the upside and to the downside. Watching it opening, above the 622.08 would be interesting because, we could very well continue climbing. As of now, it is trading sideways or creating a gathering spot, as I like to say. And I say so often, anything is possible. Tomorrow when we, tomorrow the market could very well move and bounce up, or we can get back to the downside. So again, I would watch it under 613 and above, above 622. That kind of like gives us a zone for Meta. So let's go look at Nvidia. The charts may very well look like the SPY. Let's see, right? So we're now looking at Nvidia. We closed at that 115.74. It too has been trading kind of like in a zone. What's interesting is, we closed at 115.74. We're at the 116 mark, but as you can see, there's a lot of layers of, resistance to the upside for us right here. So I'm gonna see if I can make that a little bit bigger. There's a few layers of resistance to the upside for Nvidia. So if by chance we open, I would say above this 117 area, just know we could possibly go back, hit 117.60, and again here at 117.84 and 118.16. All of those are going to be resistance areas for us, back to the upside, and 118.50. Now, if by chance we come back and we open under this 115, let's say under this area here, because this was a gathering spot for us, right? So under the 115.55 for Nvidia would be interesting, right? So because that was a gathering spot and price had been gathering in that area for a while, it's interesting because it's really close to the 20 EMA. However, we could very well lose that really quick. Let's say that. So I would say if I'm trading Nvidia, I would definitely watch it under the 115.24. If by chance we open under the 115.55, 115.24 is not far away. However, we could very well come back to the 114.50. So yeah, the market should be interesting, y'all. It's just been an interesting trading day, and again, I'm just trying to do more or less of a recap, and then to see what price could do. What it could move in either direction. Let's go look at Palantir, because it was an inside day candle for us today, and y'all see it just exceeded well beyond that level, right? 82.79 was the target. We made a high of 84.55, and it looks like it's just been going back to the upside. So what is this market setting us up for, right? Especially what's going on with these tariff wars, let's say that, right? So now looking at Palantir, it was trading in a zone, and it starts here at this 82.79 up to this 84.48. And if you want to look at it on a more of a micro level or smaller level, support is around the 83.55, resistance here at the 84.48. So we can go in either direction. I would like to see it open still above this 82.79, because if it break under, that means we have dropped down a few dollars. That would be interesting, right? Yes, that would be interesting. So under 82.79, we could very well come back to the 82.18. Breaking that, we have the 50 EMA and the 200 crossing here, so that will be interesting. ATR is forming here at 81.11, so that will be interesting. Let's say that. So if you're trading Palantir, I would definitely watch it. If by chance we open above this 84.55 area, we could very well come back to this $87 range. It is a big space in between that. Now, can we get stopped out in between? We very well can. Anything is possible, right? So these are some of the things that I see when I look at the market, y'all. I just like to figure, identify where my trouble places are and marking those levels. Let's look at Netflix. I hadn't looked at that in a while, so just to do a quick recap for Netflix, y'all. Netflix is like Tesla, in my opinion. If you get in at the right time, out at the right time, you can make a decent profit, because Netflix just moves. So it seems like this is our zone as of right now. So I would definitely like to see it open. If by chance we open above this 923.27, we could very well continue climbing. Now, if we break under this level here of 915.12, I would definitely watch it breaking down to the 908.71, and breaking that, you see there's a few moving averages as of now, and the ATR trailing stop. So we definitely need to watch it at the 903.50 area. Breaking that brings us back to the zone that it's been trading in my opinion. I would watch that 897.38. Again, not financial advice. Netflix is interesting, so I say trade carefully, y'all. This market is definitely, in my opinion, a scalper's market, because we don't know how it's going to move, right? So that's why it's important that we go in and learn the charts and learn how to read the charts and make sure that We just trade what we see, right? So again, y'all, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. I hope that everyone have a very productive day. If you could, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that, because we learn and we grow together. So until next time, y'all, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.